Yeah, gotta avoid some people. I gotta avoid the evil. Yeah, gotta avoid some people.
Look, I'm ducking and dodging the wickedness. See, they acting and talking ridiculous. Got me livid cause I'm sick of it. Gotta be different, I'm not a participant. Yeah, they're capping and all of them hypocrites. Pagan practices calling significant. Me, I follow the laws of Leviticus. With a serpent, you gotta be vigilant. Yeah, they honoring God with their lips, but see, the behavior is showing me different. It was said if you love me, keep the commandments, and that's the only equivalence. Yeah, they taking the word and made it absurd and really perverted the innocence. Look, I really can't get with it. It's either back or get checked like a stimulus. With my faith in the Father, I'm limitless. Gotta live and I walk in his ways.
Show you something. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives,
So this is the Messiah. This is Christ. Right? Go ahead.
the disciples came unto him privately, saying,
Let it go 19.
Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
So yeah, this what the disciple was asking the Messiah. When is the end of the world? Right? Go ahead.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Right. So he giving you the signs at the end of the time. So it's going to be false prophets coming out. Right? Go ahead.
And you shall hear of wars and rumors of
hear what?
Wars and rumors of wars.
So what's going on today, brother? Wars going on. So this is Bible prophecy coming to pass. So we're in the middle of wars and rumors of war. 3 seconds at this now. Hold up, what you got?
I know.
Yeah.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently.
Do what?
Measure thou the time diligently.
So Christ telling us to measure the time diligently. So when we see what he's telling the disciples right here, that we're going to hear wars and rumors of wars, he's telling us to watch these signs so we know what's going on the earth. Right. Because in the last days, if you don't repent, brother, you're not going to make it out of it. Right. And the thing about it, you don't want to see, because Putin already said, what did he say? Y'all don't want to see what's coming this way. You're going to see something that you've never seen before. But one thing about our people, we like to take our time, walk slow. It ain't the time to walk slow, brother. It's time to come in now, because the door was this wide, but now it's shut. You don't get in before the door closed, brother, you ain't gonna make it. So read that again.
Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before.
Because he did what? He told us. The Messiah told us these things is gonna happen. But our people, we just listen, they go in one ear and out the other, right? Go ahead.
Then shalt thou understand.
Then what?
Then shalt thou understand.
When this place get bone and smithereens, then you gonna understand. Because well, this brother and what we trying to bring out, we not telling you nothing wrong. Because you our brother, we love you. We ain't gonna try to deter you. Because I know a lot of stuff that we say, it sounds strange. When Christ is out teaching and preaching to the people, why would they kill a man that was bringing out, I love you, give me a hug, I love everything? Why would they kill a man then? They're saying that. They're going to kill a man that they hearing things that they don't understand. He was teaching things that there was a new doctrine on the earth. He was telling the people. And the stuff that we come out, it sounds foreign to a lot of people because we've been stuck in the churches and Christianity so long. Because Christianity been taught us lies throughout generation after generation. And then now we're teaching it to our kids. Right? So we got to become... Well, what Christianity taught us, Christianity is under the umbrella of the Roman Catholic Church. So whatever the Roman Catholic Church teaches, they bring it down and tell all the churches to teach the same thing. But what they do, they teach it to the so-called blacks, right, in the Baptist church to keep you gummed down. So when you start knowing things and start figuring out things and knowing who you are, they don't want you to know who you are. That's the most big kept secret in the world, to know your nationality, to know your heritage. Once you know your nationality and you know you coming back to the laws of God, they know you fulfilling Bible prophecy. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 30. I'm going to show you. Once you start knowing who you are, give me Judas 5. I'm going to show you something. Once you know who you are, that's when the so-called European man, he's going to start getting scared. because we feel in the prophecy that the Bible is telling us to, right? And I'm going to show you something. When our people don't come back to the Lord and don't come back to the commandments, you're really killing your own people, because we have to come back to the Lord as a nation. We can't come back as an individual. We have to come back as a whole nation and keep the commandments collectively as a nation. But as long as our people don't want to keep the commandments, you're going to see Trayvon Martin get shot, Michael Brown get shot, George Floyd get choked out. And you know whose fault is that? That's really your fault, because you don't want to come back into the Lord and keep the commandments, right? So read that in Deuteronomy. I'm going to show you something.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1.
This is Bible prophecy.
And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee,
So it's going to come to pass when all this is future prophecy, right? Go ahead.
the blessing and the curse.
The what?
The blessing and the curse.
The blessings and the curse. We think we're being blessed here in America. This, when all hell breaks loose, this is the place you don't want to be. Because they say this place will be destroyed in 1 hour. 1 hour, this place is gone. Everything you work hard for, you putting your faith into the world, it's going to be gone. If you ain't putting your faith and your trust in the Lord, all that stuff you work hard for, your son, your wife, it's for nothing, brother. Right? So go ahead.
I'll read it from the top. And it should come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations.
So he said we're going to call these commandments and remember them. Call them to our mind in the last days. Right? Read.
Whither the Lord thy God has driven thee. And shall return unto the Lord thy God.
And do what?
And return unto the Lord thy God.
What we got to do?
Return to the Lord.
You got to return to the Lord God. Right? Go ahead.
And shall obey his voice.
You got to obey his voice. If you don't, you got the curses on us. Go ahead.
According to all that I command.
All. Everything he could telling us in this book to do. Go ahead.
Thee this day.
What?
Thee this day.
What day?
This day.
No, tomorrow.
This day.
No, I got time. I can wait.
This day.
This day. Right? Go ahead.
Thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
You got to return with you, your family, with all your heart and all your soul. That means you can't be playing no games, brother. You got to be real in this game, right? Go ahead.
That
Then what?
the Lord thy God will return thy captivity.
Then he will return us from all the hell we going through. Then he's going to turn us from us. Till then, he's not going to turn away from us. Then in Hosea chapter 5 and 15. Go ahead.
And have compassion upon thee.
Then what?
And have compassion
Then he's
upon
going to
thee.
have compassion upon us when we come back as a nation. Go ahead.
And will return and gather thee from all the nations,
Then he's going to gather us from all the nations where he scattered us. Go ahead.
whither the Lord thy God has scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee.
Right, now watch this. Read Hosea.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15.
Because the black people don't know. Right now, our God, if we pray to him, he got his back turned towards us. Why? Because we're breaking the commandments as a whole nation. Right? We think we're getting blessings here in America. That blessing is you can get blessed by Satan. Satan can bless you. Satan can give you a job just to keep you away from knowing the truth. He can disturb you all kind of ways. Keep all these false holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You really think you're doing your family justice by keeping all these holidays? But you really put damage to them. Damaging their brain. Damaging their man, their mindset. Because what you're doing, you're teaching your son how to be wicked. Because Christmas is a wicked pagan holiday. The Serenity, they all came out and had homosexual having sex all together. That's a pagan holiday. But we don't research these things out. Well, we think, oh, it's Christmas, let's all get together under the tree and have a big hug as a family. That is not living, bro. Eternal life is living. That's what you want. Read. Watch this.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15.
Go ahead.
I will go and return to my place.
What did God say?
I will go and return to my place.
So God said he's going to go and return back up into the kingdom. Go ahead.
Till they,
Us, the Israelites, so-called black and Hispanic, right? Go ahead.
till they acknowledge their offense.
So we do what?
Till they acknowledge their offense.
So we acknowledge that we're breaking the commandments. Right? Go ahead.
And seek my face.
And do what?
And seek my face.
You know when you're going to seek his face, he's going to tell you when you want to call out to the Lord. Go ahead.
In their affliction.
And what?
In their affliction.
Now when you all hell breaking loose and everything going wrong for you, That's what our people want to call out to. Right, as long as things going good for us, we eat, we got a nice house, I'm driving a car, the kids and the family happy. We ignore the Lord. You're not going to call up unto the Lord till what? Until your affliction, something bad happens to you. When things start going wrong for you, and all hell breaking, your life is turned into a turmoil, that's when you want to call upon the Lord. That's why he got his back turned up to the Father to keep that. Go to verse 19 and 30. Let me show you something.
Verse 19. It says, I call heaven and earth to record this day.
So we call in heaven and earth, because the angels, they record everything you do. Everybody got an angel that record and go back into the Most High and report, like a report. If we can actually see these angels that follow us and see what we're doing all the time, we'll be righteous all day long. But since we can't see them, we think the world is all right. So we call heaven and earth to record this day. Go ahead.
Against you.
What?
Against you.
So God is recording this day, right? Because he's sending us out here to warn our people, right? So he recorded this day. So when he's sitting on the throne and you standing before the Lord, he's going to ask you. Remember they was trying to tell you this stuff and you didn't forsake it? So go ahead.
That I have set before you life and death.
He did what?
Life and death.
So the Lord set before you today, life or death. Right? Go ahead. He's going to give you some advice too.
Blessing and cursing.
Blessing and curses. What?
Therefore,
what the Lord say, therefore do what?
Choose life.
Choose what?
Choose life.
Choose what?
Choose life.
Brother, you got to choose life. You want eternal life, right? You want you and your family. But this place finna go down. This place finna be destroyed. This place is over. America finished. The economy about to collapse. The dollar bill about to disappear. The gas prices about to raise up. Look at the rent. Everywhere you go, the rent and the mortgages is out of control. You go to the grocery store, the meat is out of control for price. This place is finished. It's done. If you don't come back to the Lord, He's going to make sure your life is a living hell. He's going to make your life a living hell. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Right? Let me show you something. So the Lord say, choose life. Don't choose death. Because if you don't keep God's commandments, that's choosing death. Right? Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Do what?
Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
Keep going.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people.
Keep going.
For what nation is there so great? Who has God so nigh unto them as the Lord our God is in all things, that we call upon him for you? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all his laws, which I set before you this day?
Right, now go to 6 and 7. So the commandments is for us to be in the sight of all the nations. And we're special people in front of the sight of the nation. That's our wisdom and our understanding. Give me 6 and 7.
Oh, here it is. Right.
Go ahead.
Let's see. And thou shalt teach them diligently.
Hold on. Go up one more, brother.
Okay, verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently.
So what the Lord is talking about? Thou shalt teach them diligently. What are you talking about? He's talking about your son. He said you got to teach your children these commandments. Watch, he's going to tell you. Go ahead.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Unto who?
Unto thy children.
To your son. Because you don't want your son nothing bad to happen to your son, do you? When you teaching your son worldly things, you really doing damage control to his mind. Give me 2 John. Give me 1 John chapter 2. Go ahead. Now give me John chapter 2 verse 15. Go ahead. Teach them diligently to the children. Go ahead.
And shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
So you're supposed to talk about the Lord to your son. When you at home, right? Go ahead.
And when thou walkest by the way,
and when you out here at the park walking, you're supposed to still be talking to your son about the Lord. Go ahead.
And when thou liest down.
And what?
And when thou liest down.
And when it's time to go to bed, you're supposed to be talking about the Lord to your son, teaching him. Go ahead.
And when thou risest up.
And when you wake up in the morning. Your mind supposed to be on the Lord 24/7. If your mind on LeBron James is at the All-Star break, or he come to Super Bowl, the Lord, he don't approve none of that. Your mind should be seeking the Lord 24/7, all day long. You're supposed to be theming like crack to this Bible. You're supposed to be want to read this thing all day long. Because once you start reading and knowing the prophecies of the Bible and how the Lord loves you, then you will understand. Right? So watch this. Read that. Yeah, John 2:15. Watch this.
This is the Gospel of John, chapter 2, verse 15. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them out of the temple.
I think it's first. Yeah.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world.
Do what?
Love not the world.
The Bible tells us, love not the world. What is the world? What is love in the world? All this, you see all this garbage that's going on out here? This worldly stuff out here. We're not saying that you're just supposed to be a square and don't go out and walk and have fun. And, yeah, you're supposed to have fun. You know how we have fun? We have fun by keeping feast days, gathering together as brothers, laugh and talk, going out with our family. But we know we got discernment what's right from wrong. So the Bible tells us what? Love not the world. Go ahead.
Love not the world. Neither the things that are in it.
Neither the things are in it. What's in the world? This, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year. All that stuff is worldly pagan things. When you start doing your research and going deep and finding out what these things are, man, you're going to be like, dang, they was doing all this stuff. Thanksgiving, we celebrate Thanksgiving. What that's doing? That's the rape, robbery, and the murder of the Native American Indians. You celebrating that. You in agreement with that. Oh, I'm glad the so-called white man killed all them Indians. When you celebrate Thanksgiving, that's what you do. You probably don't think that's what you're doing. You probably like, oh, well, we just getting together having fun, me and the family. But you're not really having fun. You're contributing to wickedness on the earth. And you're teaching your son to be wicked. Right? Go ahead.
If any man love the world,
all of this garbage going on out here, go ahead.
The love of the Father is not in him.
The what?
The love of the Father is not in him.
If you agree with keeping all of these worldly things, you don't love the Lord. Because now you're putting worldly things above the Lord. Then you're putting yourself above the Lord. When we celebrate birthday, we get people to honor us that day. Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, he going to get. You taking the focus off the Lord and you putting it on yourself. The Lord is a jealous God. When you take the focus off him and put it on yourself, that's idol worship. People idolizing you that day. You can't find nowhere in the Bible where the Hebrews were celebrating birthdays. That's a Roman pagan custom. And when they were celebrating birthdays in the Bible, it was because some wickedness was going on. Some evil was happening. Right? Keep reading that. Give me Job. Go ahead. Love not the world, neither the things of the world.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
That's the lust of the flesh. That's the outside man. Right? Go ahead.
And the lust of the eyes. And the pride of the life. Is not of the Father.
It's not of the Father. Go ahead.
But it is of the world.
It is what?
It is of the world.
That stuff is of the world. Go ahead.
And the world passeth away.
So when this world is destroyed, go ahead.
And the lust thereof.
Then the lust gonna be destroyed. Go ahead.
But he that doeth the will of God.
He that do the what?
He that doeth the will of God.
Get the will of God. Psalm 40 and 8. What's the will of God? When he said, he that do the will of God. Do you know what's the will of God? Let me show you what the will of God is. Yeah. Psalm chapter 40 verse 8. I'm going to ask you a question. I just want to show you something first. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 40 verse 7. Then lo, said I, I come in the volume of the book, and it is written of me.
Right.
I delight to do thy will.
I delight to do thy will. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Yea, thy law.
What is the will?
Thy law.
What is God's will?
Thy law.
The laws of God is the will. When he say you do the will of the Father, he's talking about doing the law. Go ahead.
Yea, the law is within my heart.
Right. I'll read that in Job real quick, then I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to show you where Job in the Bible, where his kids were celebrating birthday. And I'm going to show you what God did to them for celebrating their birthday. Watch this.
This is Job chapter 1 verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses.
So they sons, they having a feast, right, in their house, right, a birthday party. Watch.
Everyone his day.
Everyone who?
There came spake also another and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
So they was having their birthday party, right? Let's see what God did to them.
And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness,
And there came a great wind from the wilderness, right? Go ahead.
and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men.
It did what?
And it fell upon the young
So
men.
God sent out the wind and made the house collapse on the church and killed them. What? And ever since throughout, nobody celebrated birthday because now they're taking the focus off of the Lord and put it on themselves. Right? Give me that in give me Exodus chapter 20. Start at verse 1. I think I might be 4. Start at verse 1. I'm going to show you that God himself says he's a jealous God.
Exodus chapter 20, verse
14. This is the 10 Commandments. Go to the first one, 4.
Thou shalt not make thee any graven image,
So it says, don't make thee any graven image. Oh, yes.
or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
You read it?
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
What did God say?
I am a jealous God.
You're what?
A jealous God.
Jealous. You taking off the focus. It's a balance between everything. So what we're trying to say. We're not trying to say, oh, you can't have fun. We got all kinds of feast days in the Bible that we keep. All kind of holidays. We don't keep the holidays of the world, but we keep the holidays in the Bible. Why people don't keep the holidays in the Bible? Why is that? Why they say, let's keep this? But we got a whole Bible. America supposed to stand on the Bible. So they don't keep not one holiday in the Bible. Not one. Not even one. So God here very jealous God. When you taking off the focus off God and putting it on something else, he get jealous. If you putting too much focus on your wife, he jealous. It's a balance. You're supposed to love your wife and your family, but then again, you're supposed to put the focus on the Lord above your family. You, Lord come first, then your wife. But in order for, give me that in order. First Corinthians. All right, go ahead and read that. No, read that with Maccabees.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and start from verse 5. The altar also was filled with the profane things which the law forbiddeth.
So this is another birthday party that was going on. Go ahead.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feast days.
They didn't want us to keep our customs. It was unlawful for a man to keep Sabbath day or the feast days in the Bible, right? Go ahead.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Couldn't even say he was a Jew, just like today. We can't even say we the real Jews. They condemn us when we say that, right? Go ahead.
And in the day of the king's birth,
Then the king's birth, on his birthday, go ahead.
every month, they that were brought by bitter constraints to eat the sacrifice, and when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
Right, keep going.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities.
So it's a decree throughout the world. They sending letters to everybody. Don't keep your customs. Don't keep Sabbath days. Don't even profess yourself at all to be a Jew. Go ahead.
Went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews,
I'm going to show you what happened if you did it in those days. Go ahead.
that they observed the same fashions and partake in their sacrifices.
So they wanted you to partake in their customs, their feast days, birthdays, Christmas. They wanted you to celebrate their birthday. They said, don't celebrate the Lord's holiday, celebrate our holiday, right? It's all Bible prophecy, right? Go ahead.
Whoso would not conform,
Who will not keep Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year, what's going to happen to them?
and whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles, should be put to death.
Should be what?
Should be put to death.
That's why in 2021, our people still celebrating those same customs. Because if you didn't do it back then, you would get killed. So our people just say, you know what, we're going to forsake the Lord holiday, and we're going to keep all the customs of the Gentile ways. Right? So that's why we're teaching our kids the same thing. This is history. The Bible is a history book. It covers all corners of it. You got any questions, bro? Right. So, like the Bible says, the Lord said you got a choice, bro. You can either follow the world, because we're running out of time. We don't have a lot of time to keep making up our minds on what to do. We're in the middle of the war. That's Bible prophecy. When World War III break loose, that's the end of the world, bro. Ain't gonna be no, oh, give me a second chance, Lord. The window of opportunity is closing. It's closing very, very fast. So what you think you need to do, bro? If you really serious and you really want to change for the betterment for you and your family, because you the head of the house. Give me that in Timothy. Doing that? Yeah, read that. All right, I'm going to show you something, because this is the order.
It says, but I would have you know, on 1 Corinthians 11:3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Every head of every man is Christ. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. That's the order that the Lord got set up. Why?
And the head of Christ is God.
The head of Christ is God. So by you being the head of your house, you're responsible for the salvation of your wife and your son. If you teaching your wife Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year, get that in Ezekiel chapter 2. You know who's going to be responsible? They not going to be responsible. The Lord going to exempt them. He's going to put the blame on you because you the head of your house. Your job as the husband, as the head of the house, is to teach your wife and your kids. You can save your whole family by just coming out and learning this word. Watch it. Read it.
Ezekiel 3:17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house.
Right, so he made us a watchman of the house of Israel. Watch this.
Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
He said, do what?
Give them warning from me.
The Lord say, give them warning. That's what we come out here to do, to warn the people. Read.
When I say unto the wicked,
he say to the wicked, go ahead,
thou shalt surely die.
You're going to what?
Surely die.
If you keep him worldly custom, you're going to surely what?
Surely die.
You're going to die. Read.
And thou givest him not warning.
So this is what you got to do. You got to give your family warning. Go ahead.
Nor speak him to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life.
If you don't save your family life, what's going to happen?
The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
Right. You're going to die, brother. Because you're responsible for your souls of your family. Everything is on your hand. When this place, all hell breaks loose, Lord will we all be saved up out of here. But if we don't, and you standing in front of the judgment seat, the Lord said, He's going to require your blood at their hand because you didn't teach them. You're responsible for them right there. Every man is the head of their own house, and it's our job to be responsible for their son. It's your job. It's not their job. It's not your wife's job to say, "Hey, we got to keep it silent. Hey, we need to be reading the Bible study." That's your job. The man is the leader of the house. You got to lead your house. Keep reading that, man.
To finish it, it says, "But his blood will I require at thine hand."
You gonna do what?
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
Their blood gonna be on your hand. Right? Now read what you got.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 14. For the believing husband is sanctified by the wife.
The what?
The believing husband is sanctified by the wife.
Did you hear that, brother? What it say? The believing husband is sanctified by the wife. If you believe and you keeping these commandments, you can save your whole family. Not just on your will. Read it again.
For the believing husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
What? The unbelieving wife is what?
The unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Even if she don't believe, you can still save her soul. Even if your wife don't become a believer, you can still save her. All this stuff is on you. It's kind of hard because us as men, the Lord putting everything on a man. You're going to be the blame, right? Go ahead.
Elsewhere, your children unclean, but now are they holy.
Your children unclean, but what?
But now are they holy.
They're holy because of you. You the head of the house. That's up to you to save your whole family. And you can condemn your whole family. You can either save or condemn. Right? Keep reading.
Well, if the unbeliever depart, let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such case.
Right, now read what you read. It's in 32 and 33.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 33. And it reads, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
What the Bible say?
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
The Bible says, why you want to trim your way to seek love for your family? Why forsake God, trim God away to keep Christmas and this to make your son happy? He said, why you want to trim your ways to make your family happy? Why? Why you going to forsake me to make your wife happy? Why you going to forsake the Lord to make your son happy? Right? Read it again.
It says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore, hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways?
Right, so you don't want to teach the wicked one thy way. Don't trim your way. I'm not trimming my way for my wife or nothing. My wife coming to me talking about today's Valentine's Day. I'm going to tell her, get the hell out of here with that. Show me Valentine's in the Bible. Show me Christmas in the Bible. Show me Thanksgiving in the Bible. If you can show it to me, we're going to celebrate it. If it ain't in there, it's tagging. The Lord is against it. If He against all of that stuff. If you can't find that stuff in the Bible, the Lord is totally against it. He got all the feast days. Go to Leviticus 22. Go ahead. I'm going to show you something. We're going to show you the feast days of the Lord, what you should be keeping. What nobody in America, they don't want to keep it anyway. Hey, brother, get that. Come. Go to Leviticus. I'm going to show you. So everything is on your hand. Read that Leviticus. You got Mark 3? Read it real quick. Read what you got first.
This is the Gospel of Mark, chapter 3, verse 34. And he looked around about on them which sat about him, and said in red letters,
It's Christ speaking, right? Go ahead.
behold, my mother and my brethren. For who shall do the will of God?
He said, my mother. Who is my mother and my brother? Those that do the will of the Lord. Them your family. Go ahead.
For whosoever shall do the will of God, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother.
The same as my mother, my brother, my sister. Them is your family, the ones that's doing the will of the Lord. Right? Read a bit. While you on Mark, give me 10. With that 10:32. Read that. All right, go ahead and read that real quick. This is the feast days of the Lord right here. I'm going to show you. These are the holidays you should be keeping. Go ahead. Read verse 1.
Leviticus 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
So the Lord speaking to us, right? Go ahead.
And say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
Concerning what?
The feast of the Lord.
These are the feasts of the Lord. That says Christmas in there.
Which shall proclaim to be a holy convocation. Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
So we got to keep the Sabbath day. That's a feast day of the Lord. Keeping the Sabbath day. That's one of his feast days. Because that's why we come together. Right? Go ahead.
A holy convocation, you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right?
In the 14th day of the first month at evening.
This is the first feast day. First month or the 14th day at evening. Go ahead.
Is the Lord's Passover.
What?
Is the Lord's Passover.
So we're supposed to keep the Lord's Passover. Keep the Passover?
Exactly, that's the thing. Like this is this.
The Lord said you got to keep his feet. Passover. Feast of Tabernacle. Feast of Dedication. You got to keep those days. You got them all listed in the Bible.
Oh yeah, you kept there with Tony. I told him, oh yeah, be here fast. Not the Passover, that was something.
So what you gonna do, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely about to get back into that.
Yeah, you need to come back out, bro. But look, we ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. But you are our brother. We love you. We love you, see you with your family, with your wife and your son. But at the end of the day, we kind of like, yeah, this brother killing his own family. You gotta say something, man. It'll be, the blood will be on my hand if I don't come out and tell you, hey man, you gotta change and do this and do that. Now your blood is required at my hand, right? Now read. Let's read 2 more scriptures for you, brother. Consider what we're trying to tell you. Because these 2 brothers right here, they ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. They telling you this because they love you. They ain't telling you nothing because people hear this stuff, it's foreign to their ears. Christ teaching the same thing we teach. We coming straight out the Bible. We ain't coming up to you, hey brother, do this, do that. We going and showing you in the scripture. You probably learned more right here in 2 minutes than you did in your whole life of Christianity. Right, so read.
This is the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I deny before my Father, which is in heaven. Think not that I have come to send peace upon the earth.
So Christ said, don't think I came to send peace upon the earth. What he came to send?
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
But a what?
But a sword.
Do you know what a sword is? He's not really talking about a literal sword. He's talking about division. Division. Where the division coming from? In your household, your family, your brothers, your sisters. Right? Go ahead. He's going to explain. Go ahead.
For I have come to set a man at variance against his father.
He come and set a man a difference between his father. Like if I'm in the truth, my father ain't going to be in it. He ain't going to agree. Because Christ brought that division between us. Because he want to see who really love him. You want to see who really love him. Do you really love him? Or do you really love your father, your mother, your sister, your brother? Because your sister, your brother, your mother, your son, your daughter, they're going to try to disturb you from the Lord. They're going to try to turn you away from the Lord. Why? By keeping them happy, by celebrating wicked holidays, by not turning your back towards the Lord. Right? Watch this. Watch, read.
Set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother.
So, father against son, daughter against mother, go ahead.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, go ahead.
And a man's foe shall they be of his own household.
What?
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Your own enemy is going to be the people in your own house, in your own family. Because what we bringing out, what these brothers probably was bringing out to you, it probably sounds so foreign to you. You're like, you know what? Why are they saying this and that? I don't believe that. No. It sounds foreign to you. But Christ, he got it set up where the enemies of your own house or your own family will go against you. Because once we come into this truth of the Bible, it ain't going to be these other people coming up against us. They can care less about us. You know who care about you? Your family. So when you tell them the truth, they're going to come against you. That's why Christ got it set up. See who really loves you. You going to love your family or you going to love the Lord? Watch. Keep reading.
He that loveth the father.
He that loveth the father.
Or mother.
Or mother.
More than me.
If you love mother, father more than the Lord, go ahead.
Is not worthy of me.
You ain't worthy of Christ. So you got to put him first. Above everything. Above everything. Any more on that?
He that loveth son or daughter more than me.
You love your son and your daughter more than the Lord. What?
Is not worthy of me.
You ain't worthy of the Lord. But you putting your son and your family first before the Lord. You're supposed to put the Lord first and then your wife, your sons and kids. Put them second. That's what the Lord said. And we obey what he said. I put my wife second. The Lord come first. If the Lord telling me to do this, and my wife in my ear telling me to do that, who do you think I'm going to listen to? I'm going to listen to the Lord. Because at the end of the day, my wife going to get me destroyed, condemned. But the Lord, he going to save my soul. Right? He reads.
And he that taketh not his cross.
You don't listen, go ahead.
And follow after me.
And follow us. Follow what this Bible's saying, what's going to happen.
Is not worthy of me.
You ain't worthy of me. That means you ain't going to make it. That's plain word. You don't come and start coming out studying, coming out on a Saturday. Basically, it's saying you ain't going to make it. Keep reading.
He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life.
You know what it says? If you find your life, you should lose it. What that mean? You losing your life by giving up all this wicked garbage. By your homie saying, hey man, let's go out to the bar and go to the strip. You're losing that life. Get rid of that life. Right. Well, read on. But he that
findeth his life shall lose
But
it.
he that findeth life shall lose it. Go ahead.
And he that loseth his life,
If you lose that old life, what's going to happen?
for my sake,
For who?
for my sake,
If you lose that, get rid of that old man for the Lord, right? What's going to happen?
shall find it.
You're going to find a new life, right? Any more on that?
He that receiveth you, receiveth me.
Right. If you receive, you can receive it. Go ahead.
And he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me.
Now read what you got. It's going to be the last scripture right here if you got any questions. Read that.
Psalms 119 and 60 says, I made haste.
I made what?
I made haste.
I made what?
I made haste.
Do you know what that means? I made haste. That means you ain't wasting time. A lot of people making haste. All these people out here making haste. They wasting time. But we read earlier in the scripture say, measure the times diligently. You know what's going on in the world. We was breaking, we know where all these viruses, we know where that comes from. We know the famine is coming, no food on the shelf. We see it because the price market is going up. The Bible tells us. And it tells us that the war coming. It's coming. We follow the steps because we're not waiting. We say, go ahead, read it again.
It says, I made haste
I made haste
and delayed not.
and did what?
Delayed not.
Don't waste time. Don't delay not. Right? Because this is like a warning, like the Lord using me as a vessel. He talking to me through me as a vessel to you. So I'm just imagine me as the Lord speaking to you. Because that's what he do. He uses prophets to come out and speak to people. He's not going to come and whisper something in your ear. Brother, get right. He ain't going to do that. The Lord don't come down and speak. He used other people to talk. He used like he used me to talk to you through him. Right? So the Lord is going through me to speak to you. So he said, make haste, delay not. That means don't waste time to do what?
To keep thy commandments.
To do what?
To keep thy commandments.
You don't do it today, brother, you might not make it through tomorrow. You might be in the car tomorrow and something bad happened to you, bro. That's how the Lord operates, bro. I'm telling you. The Lord operates in that way. When we going through all kind of hell and affliction or pain or something, we know it's the Lord. Because we know we did something wicked. I'm going to tell you, for example, bro, I was doing something wicked as hell. And this was years ago. I was on the forklift working at my job. So I stood up on the forklift and grind something up there. I fell off the forklift and that mother cut my butt, ripped my clothes up, blood everywhere. And I knew who did it. That wasn't by accident. That was the Lord. He said, I punish your ass. When something happen like that, who you think do that stuff? You think it's just by coincidence? That's the Lord punishes you, man. He's telling you, he's giving you a warning, man.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right?
No deal.
So, brother, you got a decision to make, man. I mean,
That's
we running out of time, bro. We ain't got time. You know, these brothers talking to you, man, they ain't telling you nothing wrong. They telling you something because they love you. They ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong, bro. They love you, they love their sister, they love their nephew, man. And they know in order for their family to come together, they gotta go through you. You can't go talk to his sister because he's been being obedient to the Lord because he gotta talk to you first. And only you can talk to your wife. He just can't skip over you and say, push you out the way and say, hey sister, start doing this, doing that. He can't do that. He have to talk to you because you're the head of the household. The man is the head of the household. Yeah, go ahead.
So, back, based on what the elder was saying, Christian and stuff like that, I just want to share some. This is Mark 7, 8 through 9. It says, for you ignore God's law and substitute your own tradition. Right? So this is Christ. The Christian church today has ignored God's laws and substituted taking out the child of real, right? You know what I'm saying? This is verse 9. Then he said, you skillfully sidestep God's laws in order to hold on to your own tradition. Right. So, in other words, the church, man, they're so attached to these pagan holidays, they ignore what God is telling them. You know what I'm saying? And that's all he's saying. It's all love, man. That stuff, man. I know as kids, you know, we enjoyed it, this and the third, but when you look at the origins of Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, man, that stuff is wicked.
It's all attached to something wicked, something evil. But they teach you to do it because you're doing it unknown. But when you do it, you're really putting like evil spirits to come out. Evil spirits come out. People don't think the spirits are real, man. Spirits are real. The spirits dwelling inside of your body. This your body is the vehicle rides along with it. You know? Well, go ahead, watch it. No.
One that ruleth his house, one that ruleth well in his own house.
So the Bible says a man have to rule well his own house. Go ahead.
Having his children in subjection.
Having what?
Having his children in subjection.
Having your children in order. Go ahead.
With all gravity.
Uh-huh.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God?
Right. So if you can't even be in your rule your own house, how can you be a disciple of the Lord? You can't be one. Because you got to get your house in order first. You got to get your house, your family in order. But just think about what we're saying, brother. Think about what we're saying. These brothers, if I was you, I'd be calling these brothers, reaching out to them and saying, hey, man, I need to learn more. But they ain't going to tell you nothing wrong. They're not. It's really not. Our family just so rebellious, they just don't want to do it. Try to get your get it right, man. All right, brother. I hope next time we see you, you standing over here with us. Right.
Yeah, that's so. Start using little
you got any questions, man? You got any questions, brother? Believe in the Bible?
Gotta avoid some people. I gotta avoid the evil. Yeah. Gotta avoid some people.
Look, I'm ducking and dodging the wickedness. See, they acting and talking ridiculous. Got me living cause I know I'm sick of it. Gotta be different, I'm not a participant. Yeah, they're capping and all of them hypocrites. Pagan practices calling significant. Me, I follow the laws of Leviticus. With a serpent, you gotta be vigilant. Yeah, they honoring God with their lips, but see, the behavior is showing me different. It was said if you love me, keep the commandments. And that's the only equivalence. Yeah, they taking the word and made it absurd and really perverted the innocence. Look, I really can't get with it. It's either back or get checked like a stimulus.